Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
At your job, do you ever have to deal with a nose roller? How about a snub pulley? Well, if you're installing a new conveyor belt system, dealing with the different components can sound like you're speaking a foreign language. Luckily, you've got a team ready to help. Grainger's technical product specialists are fluent in maintenance, repair, and operations. So whenever you want to talk shop, just reach out. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You realize
Yes.
that we now have a transgender golfer attempting to become the first to join the LPGA Tour.
What is this person's name?
Haley Davidson,
Where has this
born in
person
Scotland but
Okay.
lives in Florida. He, whatever, shot a 70 in the first round at the Shadow Ridge Golf Club in Palm Desert, California last week, finishing tied for 59th. You get in if you're in the
was
top
she
85.
in the tournament?
Yeah.
Or was this a qualifying tournament?
Qualifying to see if you can get your PGA card, your
Okay.
LPGA card.
Okay.
And Kelsey
Oh,
knows.
so she now advances to the next round or something?
Apparently.
Yeah.
And Kelsey notes this will be the first time that he wants some drunk fan to yell out, "You the man!"
Well,
Boom.
that's a good way.
But this
Well,
looks like
it's,
Dustin Johnson, for God's sake.
Well, we had the
I don't approve.
Well, we had the swimmer recently, wasn't there? The swimmer.
the swimmer from
face.
Penn
Now-
State, and she is. They're not going to let her complete in. I think the world type, the FIFA big
Sure.
event,
Okay.
FIFA, which runs the swimming. Is it FIFA? Whatever. It is.
Now this woman, now a woman, might meet your qualifier.
Did she have the
She had
surgery?
reassignment surgery.
Okay, then let her go.
All right.
Yeah, that's,
Here we go.
I'm fine.
You're in.
She's not that good.
Your
a player.
rules are very simplistic
she's
with a lot
not-
of things.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
in baseball, if you get caught, you're out for the
Yeah,
Hall of Fame.
steroids. That's right.
Right.
If you
get
used
caught,
and didn't get caught, you're
That's
in.
right. Pudge, he got away with it. I didn't vote for him, but Pudge got away with it. You know,
Have you noticed
he went
that-
from the Michelin man to a jockey? I almost said dwarf, but we don't
can't do that.
anymore,
Yeah, we can't use that.
Have you
one.
noticed that Pat and I are kind of bursting with pride?
That's right. We
Bursting
are
with
bursting
pride.
with pride.
Yeah, we're bursting with
We're
pride.
also not only bursting with pride, we're bursting with a little anger too.
Yeah.
Lavelle E. Neal III,
Mm-hmm.
very good friend of mine. He calls me Uncle Pat. We get along great, but he's a prostitute for KFAN.
Yes, he is. He
Because
didn't mention us.
He's a
He didn't
prostitute.
mention
He's a
KSTP.
prostitute. KFAN is more important to him than to be loved at KFAN is more important to him than be loved at the Star Tribune. For God's sake.
But he is a contributor to that radio station.
He is, whatever he does. Yes, he is. He is a contributor to that station. But Jamie Erdahl,
Right.
she walked.
Our own.
She would, as a junior at Blake High, or Breck or Blake, one of the two, she would drop by the station. They cheap SOBs.
But you're
didn't
talking
pay her.
she would drop by KFAN.
KFAN. Yeah. It's right out there
I
near
know.
the high school.
Yeah.
You know, it's right out there. And they didn't pay her.
No.
They didn't pay her.
No.
She's not. They can call her an intern. She just got to walk in the building.
And
hang
as a
around.
guy that was once an intern there,
yeah, they don't pay her.
I can vouch for the fact that you're doing that on your dime.
You're doing it on your time. That don't count.
No.
She was an intern
For us.
for the Joe and Pat
That's
show.
right.
And
Now, what do you call the tree?
we call it the Joe and Pat Sports Media Training Tree. That's what we call it.
And we trained
You
her.
know, the coaches have their trees.
That's right.
We have our tree. It's a tree. Now, Rookie pointed out he's on the tree.
But he's been
and
stuck on the tree.
He's on the
limb that you hold on to from the ground.
He's on a worse spot on the tree than he used to be, but that, 30 years ago or whatever it was. So some people take advantage of the tree and some don't. And Jamie, who we paid as an intern,
He was an employee.
over 2 months.
At least 2 months.
At least 10
least.
weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Before she said, I'm leaving. But
You know what we had her doing?
she was. I do. She
She filled out.
now,
She had a task.
Here, in our defense,
Yeah.
she also was in the producer's room, right?
With Rookie,
She
yes.
was in there and was free to throw in any type she wanted to, as long as she didn't interrupt us.
Correct.
But,
Right, you can't talk to us.
yeah, right. But she was free to do that. But this was when we first transitioned to sports talk, and the lineup was Ricey and Mackey 12-2, Garage Logic 4-6, and in between 2 hours of Joe and Pat sports.
And the second hour was kicked off with this. It was kicked off with this.
And now, Joe and Pat present Sports Talk's Person of the Day.
Person of the day. Yes. But this is later because
No, we had to dream this up.
Oh, yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
originally persons of the day.
That was too complicated.
Joe said, "Bleep it, just name somebody." Among the millions of athletes, the responsibility of picking out one for the day. The mayor was working on getting his show
And
ready.
before it was removed, he would come find me and he'd say, "Hey, dummy, give me someone."
Well, Jamie was here.
Jamie was
and
here for
we
this.
decided that to make this into a real event, we needed certificates.
That's right.
And I don't know who printed the
Well, I can get you
certificates.
a certificate.
There must have been 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Somebody thought this show was going to last a long time.
yes.
We had, and Jamie had to find addresses
Oh, yeah.
to send to people
And
once-
address the envelope.
One of Joe's was Lady Gaga, and mine was some other actress.
Why did you pick Lady Gaga?
I don't know.
He saw her on the trapeze or whatever.
Yeah.
That was Pink. I
Oh,
guess,
yeah,
or whoever.
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever Lady Gaga.
Okay.
She was doing something athletics, anthem maybe. She might have
Maybe
sung
did
an
the
anthem.
Yeah.
Well,
there
she
we
was
go.
in a movie.
Yeah, but it's not a sports movie.
Yeah,
you
but she
know.
was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she got an award.
She got it, and I saw a 10-year-old tweet from Jamie saying, "This is going to be easy." Trying to find, I think it was from 2010, so she was with us right at the start
The launch.
of the launch.
Yes.
Of
Did she quit before we did, or
oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
She got out before the show
She
ended?
lasted about 2 months and said, she never told us that, but I think she was hoping for more.
well, now she's going to be the NFL sideline reporter.
No,
that's
that's
She's
what
not?
she used to be.
Oh,
For
She
the
is
SEC.
She's
now-
moving up from that.
The NFL Network's most popular show is Good Morning Football. Wow. And she is now the co-host of that as of this week.
And
right?
she was the sideline reporter for CBS for the
that,
SEC games.
Before that.
Yeah.
But once you have taken on the task of what do you
At
got?
least that.
Oh yeah, probably. Once you have taken down the task
How you doing over there?
I just had to send him a
of
note.
mailing certificates, we gave her obligations.
Well, she had responsibility.
She did,
Wait a minute.
and
She's left
and
the
she'd
tree.
come out for about 3 years.
She's left the tree.
For about 3 years ago, she'd come out to the fair and say hello. She was with her mom
I don't even
and
remember
other people.
that.
Yeah, well, she did. Anyway, Jamie, I'm very offended that Lavelle would say,
She has two
she started
kids.
at K-Fan. Yes, she does. She's married to a very, very fortunate guy named
Sam Buckman.
Sam Buckman. I don't know who he is, but
Boy, I wish she'd name the kids so we could foghorn them in case they need a foghorn.
yeah. She, played basketball at St. Olaf, And then she dropped out she left there after her sophomore or junior year, but she played. She was a good player.
How old is she?
But she went to American University to get into journalism, and she wanted to.
Hey,
this
I
is what
wonder if she
wanted.
was a classmate of a kid I used to have in
She
St.
could have been.
Olaf.
She could have been. She's probably mid-30s.
I was going to say early.
Oh, for
Mid-30s.
Pete's sake, I'll
Yeah.
have to check that
Yes,
out.
Yeah, she was.
I got an idea.
She was an Ole.
Why don't we send Miss Erdahl an email because she is a descendant from the tree, and we could say, Jamie,
She's not a descendant of the tree. She's a product.
a product.
of the
Thank you
tree,
very
yeah.
much. A product of the tree, and say you've got this new show, this highly successful machine on NFL Network, and you need a segment. And the segment Joe and Pat can do for your show is
Sports person of the
Joe
day.
and Pat present Sports Talk's
We
Person of the
promise
Day.
we promise there'll be NFL associated people.
they have to have a tie to the league. They have to have a tie to the league.
Well, Pelissero was on with her this
Wait,
morning.
Pelissero's from the tree.
Pelissero brought up sports. That's how this started.
Oh, really?
Brought up. He apparently showed her a certificate and put her name on a certificate for sports person.
Was
of the
she
day.
was she just a sports fan when she was a kid?
I suppose, but she
Yeah.
wanted to get in. This is what she wanted to do. She was, and you know what? As I said, Joe, you don't remember this, obviously.
Of
But
course
when
not.
she left,
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm disappointed that Jamie left, but I believe we have created the foundation for her to have a tremendous career in sports journalism, perhaps even become a national star.
And you were
and she did.
prophetic.
I was prophetic.
You were prophetic.
Yes, you
That
were.
day I was. Yes, I was.
Holy mackerel.
I was trying to think of who else is for the tree. The kid from Toads became a very prominent at the White Bear Press.
White Bear
out there.
Press.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he worked out there. So he's from the tree.
Well, Pelissero.
Dark Stars from
Dark
the tree.
Star, wouldn't
Dark Star
Pelissero be from the tree?
Well,
Yeah,
we'd have him on
I
once
think
in a while.
I think he should take credit for Pelissero because
Yes.
he's got a big deal, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
well, in fact, Jamie's debut, she's his guest, basically.
Yes.
He's on with her.
My
So,
favorite thing.
all alums of the
And here we are.
The best was the little crossover hit, Pat, that Joe would do just before 6 o'clock each and every day,
Yes.
where Tom would come in to kind of preview what was coming up on his show. And one day he and Mackie both came
I
in,
forgot about that.
and Joe says, "What are you, the bleeping laptop twins?"
Yeah, these young guys, they
was
just
with-
consult their laptops constantly. And
Yeah, well, Tom had the scoop this morning that the Vikings had found their new backup quarterback,
That's
Nick
right.
Mullins. So,
Started a few games for the Niners, right?
whatever.
yes,
hey,
when Adolfo Menso was out there, I'm sure. So,
well, anyway, she got big coverage today from Lavelle. And
Yeah.
Lavelle didn't mention the fact
No.
that we trained her.
no, he didn't. And I've tried to point it out on Twitter
Now-
that we're not getting proper credit.
Does
you
the
know.
Joe and Pat tree only include radio, or does it include print as well?
I know.
Depends
we're
on
just
where you
talking
landed in
radio.
print.
Yeah, we're just talking
Print's
radio.
pretty dead.
Yeah. No, this is radio. you
Just
know.
radio. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, this TV.
You know what she's a graduate of? The Joe and Pat don't worry about it tree.
Yeah.
You know,
You want me to
I
do
can't-
something today? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We'll think I said, yeah.
And you know who's
But
perfected?
we never said like go down and get lunch or anything.
No, we
never
don't
did
do that
No,
kind of
no,
thing.
Never,
you
we
guys
never would
never-
do that.
These were all journalistic responsibilities.
Correct.
This was not treating.
And I'll defend
she
you
will
too.
tell you that she was not mistreated by us. in
Absolutely
any way.
not.
In fact, the only time you would do that is you would offer to buy.
Yeah,
I
well,
buy
that
if you
too.
fly.
Yeah,
that's the Joe and Pat rule,
Yes, it is.
which
yeah.
we always took advantage of.
Yes, you have.
Yes, that's true.
So wait,
Well, this kid has had a hell of a career.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, she's sharp. And
SEC.
This is
She was
really.
SEC.
This is
She
re-
worked the Red Sox.
yeah,
yes,
This is. I think that's where she started.
I believe you're right.
Sideline for SEC football and basketball. March Madness coverage.
The Joe and Pat
And
tree.
I feel very proud. I take a lot of credit for this.
Right. Yes. Yes. And you always took note of her presence at the. There's Jamie when she walked by at the fair.
Absolutely.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I think she was there once.
yeah, she was
there.
there a few times. Her parents are great. Mom's a beauty too.
I wouldn't
Mom's
point.
a nice guy.
I'm disappointed that she didn't tell Lavelle, you better throw in Joe and Pat.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
part of the
I
trio.
owe my career to them.
I think we are. We think we are. I don't know if I still have her number.
May I
had her
ask a
number at one
delicate
time.
question in regards to the tree?
I think we should
Yes.
call her if you got her number and say, why didn't you give us a little taste here?
Would the tree of blossoming superstars be a bit larger than the tree of ultimate failures?
Boy, it's about even.
Because there's a couple like Rook and me that are basically stuck in the middle. You know, we're on the tree, but we don't know what
You're
we're.
the kind that you got to call the fire department to get them off the tree. You need help to rescue them.
She's not in my. She's not in my
He's
numbers
stuck
anymore.
right there.
Yeah.
Get him down.
Get them down.
Yeah, well, congratulations to that good local gal. Now, I got a question for you.
Here I
As a
am.
reader of the St. Paul paper for your entire life, basically, Tom Weiskopf died.
I did not know
Tom
that.
Weiskopf
You're breaking
died
this to me.
2 days ago, died, and it was revealed yesterday. And why, now, reach back.
Yep.
Why did we embrace Tom Weiskopf as a Minnesotan for many years?
He married a gal from Minnesota that he met at the Keller Open.
Jeannie Ruth,
Jeannie Ruth.
1965 Miss Minnesota.
That's right.
And Don Riley would always, Don must have known the old man or
Is
something.
this even in the paper today?
The
That Tom
Weiskopf-
died?
I thought it was, but maybe not.
How old?
We had a long story online, 81 or 2.
What of? Cancer?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, here it is. 79.
79 is all, huh? See, we're quoting his wife, Lori.
Pancreatic cancer. You don't beat that.
No, we're quoting his wife, Lori. That's the second one. But
Oh, he dumped Jeannie?
well, we don't know who dumped who.
Yeah.
But former Miss Minnesota, she might have had some options too. But
That's true.
1966 through they were married for 33 years. So
Mm-hmm.
it just wore out. You know, you just that's enough. Yeah. You know, but. And I think all his kids are obviously all her kids are with him too. So he's got like 3 kids and with her. But Riley used to celebrate anything Weiskopf did. Like he must have known old man Ruth or something like that because he always wrote
He
about.
died at his home in Big Sky, Montana.
He always.
He made it pretty long. He
Oh.
had pancreatic cancer, was diagnosed in 2020. He made it 2 years.
Yeah. He became a very famous golf course designer. He designed over 80 courses and always known as that guy with immense talent who didn't. He's got some great quotes in a long obit I saw about.
How many Masters was he runner up? 5?
Four, I think. But his quote on Nicklaus was, Nicklaus knew he was going to beat you. You knew that Nicklaus was going to beat you. And Nicklaus knew that you knew he was going to beat you.
Yeah. You know what he had, Weiskopf? He had a nice swing.
Oh, God. Classic swing. And was a little strange personality. But they did some TV, too. You know, remember he'd been a TV analyst? Yeah. He was pretty good, but a really good player. I don't think he ever putted. I don't think he could ever roll it too good. I'm not sure, but...
He won 16 PGA Tour events.
Seemed like more.
Didn't he win the Open one year?
I don't think he did. He win a major?
Yes.
What did he win?
He hailed for what was considered a perfect and powerful swing. Weiskopf won 5 times in the PGA Tour in 1973. His shining moment coming at the British Open, played at Royal
that's right.
Troon.
He won the British.
He led wire to wire.
And he then designed Troon in Arizona, the one in Arizona that
He
is
was not
lauded.
a Minnesotan. Jeannie was.
Jeannie was. Yeah, but we, listen, in the 60s, 70s, we were so, we embraced everybody who had any connection to Minnesota.
Right.
when a pitcher, when a player who had played in the Southern, when Moose Skowron came to town, he was married to a girl from Austin and had played in Austin. When he came with the Yankees, when Moose came up, it was like he was one of our guys batting between Mantle and Maris. So yeah, but we were very big on the Minnesota connection back then, both papers.
Let's tell that Mantle story. No, wait, we can't.
No, we can't. We cannot. I do have a baseball question because I was unable to observe any Twins action this weekend with my duties at the State Amateur Tournament.
Why don't they hit? Is that your question?
No, my question is Dan Gladden still talking?
23 minutes.
Woo!
I told you.
Why did it seem longer?
I don't know. Less than more, no.
I
It
found
did
out something
seem a while.
interesting, though.
He basically, they had him down for 15, and he basically announced, I'm not stopping, so.
They gave
Cali-
each person 15? Oh, okay.
In California, it sounds like the family had a Minnesota kind of life. He talked about this Dorset boat that they had. I know that brand very well. And a 70-horse Mercury outboard, and they'd trailer the old man and haul it up to the lake.
But
And
they
I
were
guess they're all
northern.
good water skiers.
They were Northern California.
Cupertino.
Yeah.
Isn't
the
that
Coop-
home of Apple? Cupertino?
It's a
When you buy an
Cupertino is-
Apple phone, doesn't the sign...
Yeah, Cupertino, yes. Yeah, he's Provis always calls him the Cupertino kid.
Yeah.
He was, I think when he was in Cupertino, though, Cupertino was just a little desert town, that, But, yeah, he's, listen, he's a pig hunter in Florida. He goes to the Everglades with his redneck buddies who have dogs who earlier in the spring run down pigs, grab them by the ear, castrate them, and then let them stay out in the wilds to get fat. And then Gladdy goes over there with his buddies and shoots them with an arrow. He's a country. You know what they have in the Everglades? Snakes.
Snakes. Big
They
snakes.
got big snakes
Big
now.
serpents.
I'm not good.
Serpents.
They got big pythons now. Gladdy don't care. He's not on next week. Is next week Sturgis or Sturgis come and gone?
Sturgis is come and gone.
Okay, well, he goes to Sturgis almost every year. Big bicyclist. He said
No, he'd be a motorcycle.
motorcyclist. what he said yesterday though was Nancy Jones, who's Cesar Tovar's daughter from the Twin Cities here. And
his grandkid goes to Cretin?
his grandkid's going to play in the big leagues.
Right.
His grandkid hit one on a roof at Cretin High
Really?
this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Hit one on a roof. PJ, he's going to be a junior, but Nancy's a motorcyclist too. So Gladdy said yes. He found that out. He said we're going riding together.
Nice.
So but PJ is kind of a stocky kid, not real tall, but his mom yesterday sent me a video of him playing in the perfect game, all-star game for underclassmen. He plays for the Little Caesars team in Detroit in the summer. He travels with that team. He doesn't live in Detroit, but when they go to play in a showcase event in Chicago or someplace, he flies in and joins him or drives him. And this thing in San Diego, it's 8:20 in the morning. They're playing the game, and these guys are doing a game on some kind of a streaming service, and they're the ball's not carrying it this time of morning. He hits the scoreboard behind the right field fence. He's strong, and he loves it, man. I think his Twitter account is PJ Plays Baseball, and all the updates and the videos on him. And
What's his last name?
Jones, PJ Jones.
PJ Jones.
Caesar had a interesting family relationship.
Oh.
He had Nancy and her mom, Maria, I believe, in the Twin Cities, and they might have gone through some kind of a ceremony. I don't know, but then he had a family in Venezuela. too.
Really?
Yes, and he spent most of he'd be with the Twins, and then he'd spend the winter in Venezuela, and he played Venezuelan baseball till he was like 48 or something, even after he was done playing in the big leagues. But his son, Caesar Jr., has been living in St. Louis for a number of years, and they became buddies, Nancy and this guy. And Caesar Jr. was the one who kind of made the formal thank you to people yesterday. Went about 20 minutes less than Gladdy did, so kept it kind of
Cesar
short.
could play for this club and bat fifth.
And first
He
and
wasn't very
fifth.
old when he died, right? Wasn't he?
54,
Oh,
pancreatic cancer.
Okay.
But he had he liked his heaters.
Oh, sure.
But that had nothing. I don't think that had anything to do with pancreatic cancer. But he was a chain smoker. Never weighed more than 145. 1967, Joe. 164 games.
Yep.
Guess how many he played?
164.
164. He started 162,
Wow.
and he started him at. He started over 20 games at third, short, left field, and center field. 4 different positions.
Wow.
Yeah. He was.
And what was the year he played all 9?
68.
That was 68. Yeah, they
68.
were trying to draw people on September 22nd, 68.
And did he start at catcher or did he end
pitcher.
Oh, he started
Started
at
at
pitch?
pitcher, struck out Reggie.
Really?
Yeah, struck out. I think he had a 1-2-3 first.
Wow.
And then I can't remember. I can't remember when he caught. He might have caught early in the game.
But it was done as a bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 hours and 18 minutes, too, Joe.
Yeah.
Did they win the game?
Yeah, 2-1.
Nice.
And he.
Pat, this club right now can't hit.
Oh, God, they're terrible.
Honest to God.
Joe succeeds by observation, and he was complaining about Buxton not hitting with runners on base.
It's .068.
Yeah, I just looked up runners in scoring position. I think I looked up and it was 148 or something. But but with runners, yeah, I don't know. It is bad. It is
Yes,
bad.
it's bad.
Kepler's helpless. You got him hitting 4th or 5th all the time, and he just comes up and hits ground ball to the right side.
You know what we can do then?
What?
We can do a comparison for next weekend. What will be higher? Buxton's batting average with runners in scoring position, .068,
Well, I don't, Pat
Or
says it's higher than that.
the
right?
Faribault Lakers blood alcohol content when they're doing grounds crew for the tournament.
I don't know. One of those two.
That might be on par.
Anyway.
Here, I'll give you a note
Here
I
we
got
go.
last
Here
night.
we go.
Oh,
Got
you
from
keep
somebody.
talking. I'll find
Okay.
it.
All right.
Speaking of that, Patrick, tournament start. You asked me about attendance.
How were the crowds?
Crowds were pretty good. The problem we're noticing is we had a couple of teams. Burbank made the tournament
Yeah,
this year.
who is? That is a Minnesota place. I don't even know where.
I
the
had to
hell
look
is.
it up myself because
Where is
they
it, way up
apparently
north?
knocked out Alexandria, so they're in that region with Alexandria.
Okay. So it must be just a.
It's a township, I believe.
It must be just a little place with a grain elevator.
Good
or
guys,
something.
though. I got a chance to meet with those
Yeah, I
guys.
saw they won, and I'd never heard of them.
So did Ada. Ada knocked out Plato yesterday afternoon.
Oh, that ain't good for attendance.
Sure
I've
is.
heard of Ada.
Yep.
Ada is up there, Joe.
He's pointing.
Beyond Thief River Falls.
Okay,
Beyond Thief River
You're pointing
Falls.
south, so
He's
it'd be up
pointing
here.
towards that
Ada's
wall.
up there. Ada's up there, and Plato's right here, so that's not good for attendance.
No, but I got to share a great story from that game. So each time a new team would take the field, the grounds crew, which is basically the Faribault Lakers roster, right? Mm-hmm. And the grounds crew would each put in $5 as to each player. They get to pick a bat from each player from each team as to who was going to hit the first home run of the tournament because our park plays pretty big.
Saturday, 10:07 p.m. Byron with RISP is batting a stellar 0.138 this year.
Well, there's no zero there, but 138.
Okay,
138.
0.138.
Yes. Yep. I
So-
agree with that. Yes.
So anyway,
Who sent you that?
Andy.
I was going to say it's got to be his kid. There's- yeah.
Andy, the accountant.
Yeah.
So there was the pool going, right? So there was one game Friday, nothing. 4 games Saturday, still no home runs. We are in the final game, the second of 3 yesterday. The pot's getting to be about $300.
Yep.
The catcher from Ada hits one over the wall. Guess who wins it?
You.
The 8-year-old son of our utility guy, Weston Rost.
Wow.
So I'm doing the player of the game announcement because it's sponsored, so I've got to do a player of each game. So I bring out the big sweaty catcher, and here comes the 8-year-old Weston Rost to congratulate him for Thanks for winning me $300.
Did you do the games on radio?
A lot of them were on radio.
No,
I
did you do
personally did not. No, I had other duties, but we had several radio stations at our park doing the
Pat,
games.
it might surprise you to learn I didn't follow the Vikings Saturday night.
No, I didn't either, but they were bad enough at quarterback that we have a new one now.
We made an acquisition.
We acquired for a potential 7th-round draft choice Nick Mullins, who was an undrafted out of Oregon State. Am I right?
I'm going to
guessing
trust you.
there.
Yeah.
And he played a little bit when San Francisco had somebody hurt, right?
Jimmy
They
was
played-
hurt, I think.
Yeah. And obviously it was Dolfo Mensa's
Right.
deciding to bring him in. There were other options, but, Mond, everybody wants to pile on him. He's a 3rd-round draft choice. He's an athlete. Why would anybody think he's ready to play yet with him when they drafted
Right.
him? I mean, he was drafted as a project, and now you want him to be ready to play? I don't.
I think that this is going to have a greater impact on Sean Mannion's career
he's
than
out.
Kellen Mond.
But Mond, if Mond stays on the roster, I mean, if they put him on waivers, is anybody going to claim him
God, no.
as an athlete? He might be
Well,
you might
that's
be
a good
able to
point.
make him a receiver. Or
Hey,
something.
what was the Steelers guy? Antoine Randall L, that
Yes,
kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure he's that fast, but yeah, I mean, their plan is to put him on the practice squad, and he'll probably pass. But anyway,
Here, answer me something.
that's how bad they were.
When the 30 survivors go to Eastlake this week,
Yes,
do they start with a score?
yes.
So
Yes,
Scheffler would
they
be
started-
10 under on the first tee.
They started that. They started that about
It's like putting a
4
runner
years.
at second.
They
when you're
started that about 4 years ago because people were confused as to how the guy who didn't win could be the champion. It was too complicated for the American viewing audience.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, but the scores are all phony baloney since then. This is a live type gimmick. It's something they do. By the way, supposedly 7 of them gone after the FedEx Championship
mean?
this week. Seven
Seven
of them.
of these guys are going?
7 of the 30 are heading
Let me read you
or
something else.
at least 7. No, I guess 7 of the 70 who are playing this week.
I'll see if I can find it. Shoot.
And I have an email for you guys, too, if you're ready. whenever you're
Cameron
ready for it.
Smith for sure, and Cameron Young maybe, and that Neiman.
I got this comment from a
Okay.
guy. You can't play every weekend for 10 months and hold my attention, and you can't fail to distinguish the John Deere Classic from the whatever tournament. They operate like it's 1956. So there. This is a fellow who's been lobbying me that he's in favor of live.
Well, that's.
I'm not. I
He's
think live's
allowed to
B
be in
as in
favor of
B,
live.
S as in S.
But you can play all these weeks, and the fact is, Tiger Woods didn't play in the John Deere after the first every year. They don't go and play every week.
Right.
There's no requirement for Koepka and Dustin Johnson and these guys to go play every week.
How
They-
many
they
guys
get
you
begged.
say are leaving after this week?
7, but I'm not sure that they're the 7 of the 30, though. They could be
Oh, okay,
7
okay.
of the guys who were in the FedEx Cup. And maybe played this weekend. 7 of them are supposedly leaving.
I can't believe that. I just when you watch the drama of the BMW Championship and what it means, why in the hell would you go to live?
Because
Well,
it's a
'cause
giant
money.
paycheck.
It's money. It's every,
You're playing for the government. You're playing for the Saudi government.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. There's apparently Tiger called a meeting last week with the PGA officials to basically develop a plan that will cut this thing to give less incentive for people to leave. I don't know what it is. They're supposedly going to have 18 tournaments that pay substantial amounts of money, and then everybody else, and we'll be one of them, will be like the the
Cantley won
John Deere
$2,700,000 yesterday. What do you want?
That's and
$5
plus,
million?
plus he's now in position. Doesn't the winner of the FedEx
18.
get 18? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's he's in good shape for that. It's not. But they're going to apparently. There's something called the fire pit. Something that really does a good job of covering golf, and they say there's going to be 18 tournaments next year that are like their A tournaments, and then if you're not one of those, what's going to be interesting to see. I mean, 3M signed a 10-year deal to put this tournament on, right? I mean, they're going to have to let them. They're going to have to let these tournaments out if they're
Not getting anybody?
If they're really going to make them second class, if they're going to be a differentiation between the these 18 and then the others, So
May I get us back to baseball to reference an email very quickly. This is from Scott. He says, Chris, you want to get the boys fired up about the state of baseball? See if you can track down audio of Aaron Boone saying, quote, the Yankees really need to score more points. I've heard him say it multiple times last week. I kid you not.
Points?
Well, it's I'm not offended with
You're
that
not
one.
offended?
No, because it's just kind of
Throwaway comment?
Throwaway,
Okay.
things. I'm going to, come on, boys, let's put up some points.
Let's put up some
I mean,
points.
it's just he knows that it's runs. It's not, I can't get
Being
offended over
and
it.
being that deep in a baseball family, I'm willing to give him a pass.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of
third generation?
5 families to have 3 generations of players.
I wonder if a race can develop in the East. New York's
Well, they won yesterday, so
Yeah, finally. They have
finally
lost quite a
pulled
few.
through. They had lost 20 out of 30, and they should have lost another one. They had Tampa had a beat, and then Donaldson hit a pop fly grand slam home run.
Oh,
on the
that's
bottom
right,
of the
down the
10th or
right field
11th to
line,
beat
yeah.
him. So, but I've appreciated Boone because he's been ripping the hell out of them, right? So, anyway. They're still. By the time the Twins get there, they'll have their ship righted. Joe, after tonight, you're playing Texas. After tonight, they play some real teams here for a while. Mm-hmm. I was saying all along that the Twins had a better lineup than Cleveland, and Cleveland had the pitching advantage. They don't have a better lineup than Cleveland. Not with this collection they're running out there now.
I'm not sure they have a better lineup than Texas.
The bottom are no, because Texas has Semien and Sager, and they just can't hit. They can't hit. They can't hit.
You look at just who do you think's who the hell's gonna beat the Dodgers anyway? In the grand scheme of things, they have a run differential of 264. The Dodgers do. I mean. They don't, and the thing is, I know Bueller's out for the season.
Walker
Buehler.
Walker Buehler,
One
who's
of
a
the
fantastic
5
pitcher.
5 best in the majors.
And it hasn't affected them.
No, they just keep rolling along, man.
84 and 36 they are this year.
Well, they were they'd won 31 out of 35 there when they were 32 out of 36 when they were going through Cleveland and the Twins and those teams. So who we got? We'll give them a chance to plug the who we got in Faribault on Friday night.
The St. Patrick Irish.
Oh, that'll draw.
They're the favorite right now. I personally
Oh,
think.
the Redbirds are gone. The
And the
Redbirds
Birds-
got beat by the Redbirds.
The Birds went down Saturday night.
Chanhassen had won 4 straight, and people were getting nervous.
Yep.
But they went down.
And Measles got a good shot this year. And you know what? Now that both those, and the Chaska Cubs lost too.
Did Measville beat the?
Yes, Measville beat the Prior Lakes.
Beat our.
Their
Jays.
game got suspended Friday
I
night, and
saw
they finished
played
it yesterday.
Sunday. How'd the Dukes
Weather?
do?
Rain, yeah.
Dukes get beat.
No, the Dukes won,
Okay.
which will help our overall attendance.
Now it's double. Now it's double 11, right?
No, they changed it. I'll have to
Still
check.
single?
I think this next round is also
Wow,
single.
what the
11.
hell's wrong with? They can't.
But maybe they changed it.
They
I
have
can't
no
remember.
respect for Class B baseball.
No,
the
they do
state
not.
board.
See where the White Sox could not play at Cleveland because of poor field conditions?
Yeah, probably.
They don't know how to drain that field?
Oh, was it just? It
At
was
Cleveland?
too wet.
Well, they've been getting nothing but rain for 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Well, our boys have fine weather tonight. They'll draw another 21,000.
That's what they get. Yeah, we're not that excited about this collection. And guess what? The fans are smart.
Well, and not to mention, don't a lot of schools start today?
Really?
I don't know.
I thought I've been
Not
seeing.
this early.
God, I hope not.
I've been seeing a lot of posts on social media.
Not this early.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Really?
Maybe.
What? Public?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
the
know.
private Christian schools?
Because a
or
lot of them are
something?
starting next Monday. I know too.
My lads, the grandkids don't start till the
Tuesday
day after Labor Day.
Yep, that's when school needs to start. Tuesday after Labor Day.
What do you call the device the priests use to sprinkle holy water? That
The
thing.
wand?
Well, it's not as long as a wand. There's a name for it.
Okay.
Throws water on
The deal.
Yeah, they had the blessing of the backpacks the other day,
Of what?
and I saw a kid get drenched. A kid was right there, just drenched.
No, they're blessing the backpacks.
Backpacks.
Yeah, and what for what purpose?
Safety.
To bless the backpack.
Blessing them.
Yeah, may they contain wisdom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe or stop a bullet. Who knows? I have no idea.
All righty,
Well,
that's it.
that ought to do it.
I'll wrap it up.
The we'll
You know what?
We'll work on the Joe and Pat tree and see what who we might have missed.
Compare it to the Bill
No,
Walsh tree.
we'll sign off the way we did in the Joe and Pat tree. Don't worry about it.
That's right. I couldn't find that guest. What the hell?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
We don't need him. You have heard me discuss my relationship with Josh Arnold for some time. The reason I advocate that you give Josh a call is simple. Trust and results. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions. As has been said, through all of our relationship, past results do not guarantee future returns. And while that is true, Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. You can understand that Josh will make sure you are not paying more in fees than you are seeing in returns. Yes, that is more common than you would like to think. Do yourself a favor and have a booking with Josh for the 48-minute free evaluation. This is a no-obligation meeting. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. You will be glad that you did.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Royce is a paid endorser.